sold separately. From Kenner.
We ain't afraid of no ghosts. Yeah. Ghostbusters!
Each sold separately.
See any ghosts? Not yet. Figment, it's back to the bone. Give me out. Looks like you're really into them, Stan. Drop them. Safe. Not so safe. It's like buffalo.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Toy Talk. And for today, we're going to take a look at one of my absolute favorite collections that I have, and that is the Real Ghostbusters collection. Started back in the late 80s, early 90s, went through. They had a lot of great stuff. As you guys know, they had great looking monsters, great looking ghosts with awesome colors. A lot of nostalgia in this collection. So I'm going to run over a couple of reasons why I love this collection so much, and maybe change your mind if you've kind of overlooked it and are interested in getting into the Real Ghostbusters toy collection from the late 80s, early 90s. So let's take a closer look at the Real Ghostbusters. All right, so I've pulled a couple of figures out of my collection to kind of go over the first reason I absolutely love the Real Ghostbusters toy line, and that is the features that came with each figure. Nearly every figure in this line has got a special feature to it that where it does something. It either transforms into a ghost, kind of like our lumberjack. It's got little movements, kind of like our Dracula, or it's got hidden surprises like our Goblin and our Trap and our Winston. So we'll go over a couple of these, give you guys some examples of the features and why I love them so much. So let's go ahead and start out with Winston. This is the Super Fright Features Winston that I got a couple of weeks ago. He is incomplete, unfortunately, but he is in really good condition. And, when you pick the figure up, looks pretty unsuspecting. You don't really know what's going to happen, but there's this little lever on the back, and you get this amazing feature. You can kind of see there where the big head goes down and you got this giant face coming through. And I remember just spending hours, me and my brother, messing with these guys and making the sounds and doing everything that you possibly could with the screams with this Winston. A wonderful figure. Definitely my favorite of the Super Fright Features, which was kind of a subline from the original Fright Features. But I absolutely loved that gimmick. And that's another thing about the vintage toys that we just don't see nowadays, is these gimmicks. All these things that they can do. Kind of like our orange ghost trap here, where he actually has a lever that locks back. You push down the ton and it'll snap down. You can do that to other figures. You can do it to your finger. You can really do it to anything. And I remember this really being kind of dangerous when I was a kid. When you're a kid, your fingers are a little smaller and you clamp down. And I remember it getting me a couple times. So I was always a little weary of them. But again, another really good example of a great feature that unfortunately we don't see nowadays. I also mentioned the lumberjack, who I got recently as well. He is incomplete without his axe, but one I never had as a kid, and his feature is absolutely fantastic as well. So as you can see, unsuspecting lumberjack until you push the head down and out comes the bat head. You pull the feet down and there's the wings. And some of these human ghosts that they've made are just incredible. We got the ex-cop, we've got the trash guy, the Granny Gross, who's my son's favorite, just amazing as well. You can actually even make the wings go up and down as well. So the playability on these figures was just incredible for back in the day. And one that I've got recently that I actually paid a good amount for, but it's worth it, is this Goblin. And I never had this as a kid. And one of the cool things is back of his tail right here, if you just push it down, you get this giant tongue come out with the little Goblin inside. You can kind of move him a little bit as well. And just the detail. You wouldn't expect this kind of detail for 80s toys, but you get a look at like all the taste buds, which is just awesome. And this one as well is in excellent condition, nearly mint. nearly flawless, a great piece. But we just don't see stuff like this nowadays. And another great thing to kind of go over the last figure is there was a nice subline with the Universal Monsters. You know, we've gotten that from NECA and from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, kind of combining those. But this was a good crossover with the Real Ghostbusters and the Universal Monsters. And again, there's a fright feature even packed into this where you push his legs in, shows his teeth, splays out his arms, and just something to make the toy a little bit cooler and a little bit more appealing to kids, which unfortunately I don't think we have nowadays. So the features is definitely one reason why I love the Real Ghostbusters line. All right, we're going to do this next segment freehand because I'm not going to pull down every figure to show you guys. But the next reason I love the Real Ghostbusters line is the colors. I don't know if I have figures that pop as well as these figures do on my shelf, whether it's the Haunted Highway, more Universal Monsters, the Granny Gross, even the Firehouse playset, which has got some purple and red on it. All these things just pop when they're on your shelf. You know, you've got oranges, you've got blues, you've got greens. Just an amazing display of colors. And of course, we get some translucent with the ghosts that come with the Ghostbusters as well. So I really think the colors kind of stand the test of time and really make it more appealing to not only vintage collectors, but, you know, even kids nowadays. I know my son and my daughter really, really love these guys, not only for the features that they have, but also the colors. You know, we actually take a look at the Green Goblin, or the Goblin and the Slimer Ghost as well. And then, of course, like the Proton Packs. Every Ghostbuster had a different proton stream, which was great as well. And then, even though you had a Ghostbuster, that didn't mean that they were going to be the same every time. They did a really good job when changing up the colors, kind of like the Fright features, Winston. And then we've got the Peter with the yellow, the Egon with the white and the red, almost you know, kind of Paramedic X, the orange on the Ray, and then, you know, we've got more purple, more oranges and blues with this. The Ecto-1 had a variety of colors. So I think Kenner back in the day did a really good job at making these things interesting and appealing to kids with the color and with what they were going for. So there's another reason why I love the Real Ghostbusters line. All right, so lastly, the reason I love the Real Ghostbusters line so much is, of course, nostalgia. Many of these figures that I have on my shelf, I did not have as a kid, but many I did. I tell you guys a real quick story. I remember when I was about 8 or 9 years old, this was my first figure ever, the Peter Venkman. My mom and my brother, I think my brother was still probably in preschool, so he wasn't even in school yet, but my mom and my brother, they went and got it for me. And I remember the day I was in school, and I knew that was waiting for me when I got to school, and I could barely even, you know, stand going through the day. And it was just an amazing toy to get, not only because it actually did something with the Proton Pack, but it just was a great figure at the time. And of course the Firehouse too. Now my Firehouse is not complete by any means. It is missing pieces. These are actually 3D printed doors. And I'm missing, of course, the pole and the sign and that sort of thing. But I remember playing with this toy when I was a kid, probably more, I don't know if it's more than any other toy, but definitely a lot. We would, you know, it got to the point where it was so bad, my mom made us take the Firehouse out to the front yard and put the Ecto slime through the grate into the dirt. So we would come back in and have dirt in our ectoplasm and that sort of thing. So, you know, a lot of these figures too, you know, birthdays and Christmases and that sort of thing. Not to mention items I don't have, like the Proton Pack, the Trap, and all those where it's like, you know, hopefully those are grails, the Proton Pack, the Trap. Hopefully we can get those one day. But I mean, honestly, guys, if you're thinking about it at all, definitely consider this as a line to collect. If you're a vintage collector and you have any interest, I know I got some buddies that are interested in it, and I would definitely say go for it. But just be mindful, as always, prices can be all over the place. Look for ones that are in good condition because it's a great line to collect and a great line to really get into that will really stand out well on your shelf. All right, guys. Yeah, so just a quick video just to kind of tell you why I love my Ghostbusters line so much. This is the kind of videos I enjoy doing, just kind of going over some of the features that figures offer, why I collect them, and kind of why, you know, if you're interested at all, you should collect them. So there you go, Real Ghostbusters. Always going to be in my collection, never going to leave my collection, and I look forward to getting many, many more of them. You guys let me know in the comments, do you love the Real Ghostbusters line? And if you do, tell me why. Tell me what it is that intrigued you by it. Is it nostalgia? Is it the features? Is it the colors? It could be all of them if it is. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys again soon. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you soon. You guys have a good one. Later.